Welcome back to the Creepy Files. I'm genuinely really excited for today's episode. As suggested by Groovy Grape, we're covering the entire Five Nights at Candy's lore. Now listen, I never really got into the Candy's lore. I enjoyed the games, but never got too into the lore aspect of it. So when I was suggested this, I wasn't sure how I would like it. But the story here is really intriguing and interesting, and as I discovered more, I became more and more invested. Now, I don't pretend that my theory or interpretation is perfect, but I think it's a good analysis, and I want to give credit to my sources for this analysis. Emil Mako, the creator of the game, of course, and the Candy Bro 952, who made the Candy's Timeline video I used, and Yu Shen Valor on Reddit for their Five Nights at Candy's Timeline post. I use these to construct my own analysis and timeline for the Five Nights at Candy's lore. So without further ado, let's get into the story. I want to introduce you to the main protagonist of the series, Mary. Mary starts off this series as a little girl. Our story begins when Mary's father takes her to the Rat and Cat Theater while her brother is off at camp. Over the few days she's there, she plays hide and seek with the performers, the rat, the cat, and the puppeteer, who puppeteers a ventriloquist dummy named Vinny. Every day she's found. Every day except one. See, this time there's a lot of children playing hide and seek, so all of her other hiding spots are taken. But she's able to find a new hiding spot. The cat performer accidentally left an employees-only door open. Mary hides inside a storage closet, and the rat performer catches a glimpse of her going into the back room. He goes in to find her when the puppeteer walks in on him. Then they get into an argument. The rat showed up to work drunk. The puppeteer tells the rat to leave. They get in a scuffle, and the puppeteer gets a little too rough. The rat falls backwards, smashing his head on a table. He's dead. The cat comes in and sees what happened and suggests they call the police, but the puppeteer knows this would be the end of his acting career. So he kills the cat too. And Mary sees it all from her closet. The puppeteer then calls the police, obviously making himself out to be someone who just stumbled upon what happened. The place is evacuated, and Mary eventually leaves the closet, seeing the dead bodies of the rat and cat performers, and she walks outside. The police ask her what happened, but she doesn't say. This is the point where the trauma of what she has seen starts affecting her. She blocks out the memory of what happened, and only feels the guilt. She feels like she could have done something, but she didn't. But again, with her memory blocked, she doesn't know where that guilt comes from. Quite a bit of time later, Mary returns to the theater's grand reopening. Despite being upset about it, her father brings her and her brother this time. As the animatronics perform, the ghost of the rat attacks her brother through the animatronic. Her brother recovers, but it only adds to Mary's trauma. Mary goes to therapy after having continuous nightmares about the cat and rat. This is the gameplay we see in Five Nights at Candy's 3. We also learn that the puppeteer has gone on to star in a horror movie as the villain. Everyone is very impressed by his realistic performance. I wonder why he was so good at it. As she faces her fears in her dreams, she starts feeling better. She begins remembering what happened. She's able to relay it to her therapist, ending in the puppeteer getting arrested for his crimes. Finally, one night, she must face Vinny the puppet, who appears to be an embodiment of her guilt and fear of the puppeteer. Finally, she has overcome her fears. But the story isn't over yet. You see, although Mary's story may be over for now, the story of everything isn't over yet. The Rat and Cat Theater becomes Candy's Burgers and Fries. The Candy animatronic ends up attacking a father after seeing the father being abusive to his child. Also during this time, Mary visits Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the location from FNAF 2, and sees the puppet, and is reminded of Vinny. Now, likely due to the attack of the father by the Candy animatronic, even newer animatronics are implemented. However, as they're being made in the factory, the Rat and Cat animatronic, haunted by the spiteful spirits of the performers, kill 2 children who are in the factory. I don't really know why there were children in the factory. Anyway, the children are put through heavy machinery, and their souls become fused with the Candy and Cindy animatronics. Also, there was this monkey, and he fucking died. Now, nearing the end of Candy's saga, one last misstep is all it takes to shut Candy's down. The haunted rat animatronic comes out of storage and kills a security guard. And when the newest Candy's animatronic, haunted by a child, stumbles upon the body, it is blamed for the death. And that marks the end of Candy's. Almost. See, remember how I said it was the end of Mary's story for now? Well, there's a little more. See, years later, Mary's daughter loses a bet to her friends, and she must spend 5 nights at the abandoned Candy's animatronic factory. After fending off the haunted animatronic, she burns the place to the ground, finally ending the saga of Candy's. I guess Candy's trauma runs in the family. So, that was my timeline of the story of Candy's. Again, thank you to the Candy Bro 952 and Shen Valor, and to Emil Mako. As I said, this might not be perfect, I could be missing something huge, but this is what I came up with. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and let me know what I should cover next on my Twitter or Instagram. See you all next time.